Yeah. All I need is my team. Okay. Couple bitches in a pocket full of cream. That's right. A new edition when I pop up on the scene. Yeah. It's your boy Gully.
Monte.
You're now tuned to Room 1231 Dopest Podcast. We got a special guest today. What's your name?
Doll, what's up? What's up?
All right, we got Dahl with us. And we're going to do part two of the podcast. Now, last time we talked about relationships and, you know, the male perspective of, relationships and things like that in the black community. And today we want to talk about um, pretty much how, well, what's the definition of a male and what's the definition of a female or man or woman more so because, the male and female thing, that's something different now with the transgenders and all that. But, we want to talk about the definition of a man and a woman. What makes a real man and what makes a real woman? We want to have a female's perspective on this because you guys told us that you didn't want to hear all the male talk. So we got a female here. So let me ask you, what is your perspective? What is a man to you? What's the definition of a man?
I think in this time of my life, I feel like a real man is someone who doesn't necessarily need me, but wants me around. I think that's healthy because of when you rely on somebody for happiness or just everyday things, you become codependent, and that's when you lose yourself. So a real man to me, is someone that not needs me, wants me around, not needs me, someone that is aware of themselves. A lot of people fake who they are, or they have this image that they need to uphold for everybody else, but don't really know who they are. And someone who knows how to be alone. That's very important.
Okay, okay. Would
What,
you?
what's your definition of a female?
Um, like I feel like, or a woman, like
Or
a
woman?
woman.
Woman.
Ooh, what was that? But I feel like the definition of for me, what a real woman is just it's just a female that pretty much handles her own. You know what I'm saying? Like she doesn't really rely on a guy, but if a guy comes into her life, it's an added value to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really with traditional way of thinking, and I only feel like traditional way of thinking worked in the past because those were the circumstances in the past. You know what I'm saying? Where females didn't have rights to do certain things, so they had to stay at home and cook and clean and all that. But it's 2022, so I like to see a female handle her own and do things on her own because to me, I mean, that makes you a real woman when you can handle your own. You shouldn't
Right.
be relying on nobody but yourself as an adult in general. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I feel like a woman's someone who's a nurturer, who's who's headstrong and not really independent, but
So you
uh,
don't want her to be independent?
no, I do want to
Oh,
be
okay.
independent. But as far as the definition, I don't feel like all women are independent. I think
True.
that's a new thing going on right now.
True.
But yeah, someone who's headstrong, someone who could make a house, a home. Um, someone who's
A little low.
can you hear me?
Yeah, you was a little low.
Uh, but yeah, that's my definition.
All right, someone who says strong. So going back to it, so like, what in your mind, what would you say? What would be the responsibilities of a woman in your life, like in a relationship? What do you think a woman should be responsible for in your relationship?
For
In your
me,
relationship, yeah.
okay, for me, I feel like a woman, someone like I said earlier, who's gonna make the house a home. Someone who's as far in the relationship aspect,
Yeah, your relationship.
uh,
How would you feel? Like,
um, someone there that who can nurture me,
I'm about to
who
play the
can,
crickets on you now, boy. I'm trying to tell you,
In
boy.
my head, I was like,
somebody who just who's there for me, who like who got my
support.
back. Yeah, supports it. Someone that that's your friend too. That I don't know. That's it's a bunch.
Okay. And would you agree with that? Do you think that's like would you say that's a good definition of like what a female should be doing in a relationship?
Yeah. I mean,
It was a little all over the place.
I feel like if you're not nurturing your partner, then what's the point? That's something that comes naturally when you care about somebody or you actually are genuinely interested in somebody. You, as a woman, I think it's innate in us to be nurturers. Like,
Right.
so if we're not being nurturers towards you, it's either we're not as interested as we said we were, or we don't trust you.
Okay, so speaking about nurturing, right? Would
Mhm.
you say in 2022 a lot of these women are nurturers? Like, would you say that?
Um, I have two perceptions of it. I think a lot of women go online and put off this persona about being a city girl or hot girl this or I don't need no nigga, no man, da 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 da. But then behind closed doors, they're the most vulnerable, like nurturing type women out there.
So it's cat.
A lot of it is cap. I would say nowadays, women want to be that hardcore, don't care about nobody's feelings type energy. Like that's the perception, but I think that's just a way of protecting themselves. But when they actually have feelings for somebody, all that goes out.
And you think it's just because they're trying to protect themselves, or is it because the
Yeah.
music, or just the times we live in?
Oh, of course. Like, but at the same time, that's the whole point. I feel like people don't say it because they don't have a deeper understanding of who they are. When people aren't really aware of who they are to its core,
Right.
they think like, oh, that's just really me, and it's like not really because that comes from somewhere. There's no way someone just magically appears to be, oh, I don't care about nothing and nobody. Somebody had to hurt you at some point in some capacity for you to create that hard shell, and that's where you want to act like, oh, I don't care about nobody. Now, there's a difference between having emotional detachment to things that shouldn't serve you, and then just not giving, not giving a f. I'm not gonna curse on
You
here,
can
but
curse.
No, you can curse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
th-
yeah.
I that's my comfort
not
level.
giving
But
a fuck.
Okay, all
like
right.
he said, yeah, it's just
Shit.
it's a protective layer. And the reason I say that because I've witnessed it, and I have friends that do it.
Right.
They go online, they act up, they post on their stories a certain way, and then I've seen them behind closed doors date certain people, and they're cooking meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're picking them up. They're doing laundry. Like it's just like it don't add up. Now, like I said, it's a protective layer. Maybe they do that online to kind of wean out the ones that they don't want, and then they attract the ones that find that they put more effort in pursuing them. I don't know what it is, but I think a lot of it's cap.
Is this a hot girl summer? Is it still a hot girl summer?
I think last summer was more so hot girl summer. I think this summer the girls are being more protective of their energy.
Oh, okay.
So
So
the men up, we up.
I don't know about y'all being up. I think at this point we just kind of let y'all do whatever y'all want to do.
I mean, we up.
so since May got shot, y'all chilled out.
Look, she clearly still she clearly still making the hot girl music. Look, hot girl summer is a thing because we feel like a hot girl. Doesn't mean that we are a hot girl.
All right, what does it mean to be a hot girl?
Honestly, I feel like it's
'Cause I don't know.
unapologetically like, oh, I'm I'm gonna say it for the sake of it, like I'm apologetically a bad bitch, not because you say so, but because I say so. Like it's like how you feel more than the image of it.
Uh, I thought it was the total opposite. I thought it was like being a hoe or just wilding out.
I think that's what it came off as at first. That's what it
Yeah.
used to be. And then for me, in reality, I feel like a lot of people realize like that's not the life you really want to live. And then they turn it into, well, it has a deeper meaning. Hot girls, how you feel inside. That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
Okay, so let me ask you. We can get on men too. But since we're on females, do you feel like females are taking it a little bit too far
With what?
with everything? Like, all this twerking. They twerking in the fucking church. They twerking at funerals.
Wait,
Like
who twerking in churches? Who's twerking in the church?
the hot girls.
I, show me proof.
My phone is recording. I'll pull it up on
Nah.
YouTube.
Unless you pull up somebody just
Go on,
Nah, he'll see some shit like that
twerking
okay,
on
but
church.
that's not a common thing. Like
on
that's not.
YouTube.
They twerking in restaurants and they twerking at funerals. That is happening. They
Yeah, they
twerking at
twerking at the
protests
funerals for sure.
and they twerking at protests too.
I mean, depend on the protest, I guess. But look,
Depends on the
personally,
protest.
okay, personally, right, personally, I am not going to twerk just anywhere or just randomly. anywhere. Like church, I feel like there's a time and place for everything. So yes, I do agree that if you're twerking in places that don't make sense, you're doing too much.
Are you twerking at the funeral for your man?
No, no. But if that's you, then that's you. I can't.
What if he told you that's what he wanted though?
Then that first of all,
Ain't
if
gonna do
there's no way I would be with a man who wants me to twerk at his funeral. That just it says a lot about who I'm dating and who I am. That is not my mo. If that's yours, shout out to you. But I'm not. That's OD. I do agree that's OD if you're twerking in places that are not appropriate.
Did y'all see the man who died and they took him to the club?
Yeah,
Yeah, and they hung his body
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
That's
I know
nigga
I
shit.
read
That was
I
crazy.
read the story about how like that's what he wanted or whatever, but I'm like, if I go to the
They dressed
club
him up.
and I see a dead body just swinging on stage, that is not okay.
Well, what
I'm
I will
leaving.
say is other cultures, in different countries, they don't maybe take them to the club, but they do.
They celebrate their
Like
life.
They,
rituals.
but they do take their dead bodies and they'll like dress them up and make
Okay,
dinner
but is
for them and stuff like that.
that is that their culture? No.
Yeah, that's their. Well,
No, I'm talking about what happened with
oh,
that one.
yeah,
That is not your culture.
that's new nigga culture.
That's
That's nigga
just-
culture.
Mhm.
Sure.
Nigga culture.
Okay, outside of that story, I have not seen nobody hung up the body at a club before.
Well, it's
That's
time for
true. That's
change. You know, I
No,
don't,
You wanna
hell
go,
no.
You want to go to the club?
hell no, nigga, burn me.
No, that's.
I want to be turned to a tree for real, for real.
To a tree?
I want to be
Planet?
cremated.
Yeah, I want to be
Sure.
turned into a tree.
I don't see the point in me personally. I don't see the point in spending so much money to put me 6 feet on. Just
Yeah, I just was talking about. I think I was talking to somebody about that.
you know.
But so let's get back. Let's get back to this. So since, like I said, since we're on women, and I mean that, are they taking it too far? Because we just define what a real woman is.
Mhm.
It's a lot of women out there that feel like guys should be doing X, Y, and Z to them. But really, realistically, should a guy be catering to these women that are out here twerking crazy, that have like kids to mad different niggas, you know what I mean, or mad different men, whatever you want to use, that's out there that's going on the Instagram, every pose is of the ass tilted to the side. They getting these BBLs. I said BBWs. They getting these BBLs, and they out here like just thinking that because a lot of people think they celebrities now, so they think they living celebrity lives. Should we want that? Like, would a guy really want that? Realistically, is that really a woman? Is that really ideal?
I think if you're trying to be taken seriously, no. I think if you want entertainment, if you want fun, if you want somebody to splurge on you for a temporary moment, cool, do that. But I personally, and the girls might cancel me for this, I personally feel like whatever you give out is whatever you're gonna receive, and you can't be upset about it. So if
Talk
you
your
know, because
shit.
there's times when I'm feeling myself, I feel sexy, and I want to like have a certain pose, whatever. But if a guy DMs me on some trying to smash type, I can't. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm saying if I chose to post something like that, so whatever responses come with that, that is on my part.
That's
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm not saying you should do it, and you should always be respectful, but at the same time, a man is gonna be a man, and they see with their eyes first, and what they're gonna react on it. That's just as simple as it gets. I don't know why we try to make this like, well, it don't matter what I post, I'm expressing myself. Okay, but we're human.
That's just to justify it.
Yes, I just about to say that these dots got every excuse on why they doing the fuckery. It's always justifiable. You know what I'm saying? It's like fucking police brutality. It's always justifiable. Like anything they do, they always gonna come to, and I respect that. And we talked about that before. I respect that females come together and they'll defend each other even if it's dead ass wrong. And but some of that stuff gotta be corrected. Like, come on now, like, nah, like that can't fly. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk about guys too. How do you feel about like the state of guys, men right now? How do you feel? You feel like there's a lot of good men out there where like you feel like there's a variety for you? You feel like you got.
I think
It is.
I don't doubt. I'm not gonna doubt the whole male population. There's some good ones, but if I've learned anything either from observation or just experience, I don't underestimate nobody. And the reason I say that is because I think so, whether we like it or not, social media is a huge part of how we communicate, how we see things, whatever. And I think a lot of men don't like to admit it, but a lot of y'all don't know how to be alone.
I love it.
That is very dangerous to me because I'm like, if pay
Yeah, I
attention to the
do.
people who jump from one thing to the other, or they have this perception on Instagram or social media where it's like I'm this and I'm that, and you actually really get to know them, and it's just like you are flooded with insecurities, flooded,
Yeah.
right? And it's sad because for someone like me, I don't judge anybody where they are and who they are as long as you know who you are. If that's who you are unapologetically, I have no problem with that. But what I cannot stand is like that double life thing where you post this way and you try to come off this way, but you're completely opposite behind closed doors. So that's what I think a lot of men don't know how to be alone and they don't know who they actually are. They think they believe their lies so much that that's who they think they
And that, my friends, is called a lame ass nigga. And we don't
are.
fuck with no
Agreed.
lame ass nigga,
Yeah,
man, at
yeah.
all. Like, if you got the front and you an adult, so I give excuses for people that's like, I say maximum 27 and under, like, cause you gotta mature. Like, women mature quicker,
I was about
but
to say,
like,
okay, yeah, yeah.
so, but men, like, I say up at the 27. Once you get to past 27, you still front and you scoop ball, and you need some type of help. You know what I'm saying? So them is lame ass niggas, and we don't associate with lame ass niggas. We might know a few. They might be cool. You might want to drink with them, might hang out with them,
Yeah,
but we
Arm's
don't.
length kind of
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
about
friendships.
it.
yeah. We don't fuck with lame ass niggas, man. And to everybody, I might be a lame ass nigga to somebody, and that's okay. But I'm a lot deeper than fronting. I don't front. Like everything is real when I talk. So
But yeah, me personally, it took me till I was 25 and start maturing.
exactly.
But I wasn't fronting. But nah, it took me till I was about that
I
age.
generally don't think a lot of men think they're fronting though. That's the thing. I feel like
Just living in the moment.
If you lying, you know you front. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing to
that's
think
true.
about
That's true.
that.
That's true.
You know you fucking lying. Like, I mean, you know what? Some people lie so much they
They
believe the
believe
lie.
it. I
Yeah,
promise you. I've seen it so many times where it's just like from friends, like a lot of like guy friends that I know, not the super one that I'm close with, but like just if I meet someone here and there, I'm like I can tell like you've convinced yourself at this point, and I can't do nothing about that. There's nothing I can say that's gonna convince you otherwise.
so, do you think that people act this way because of society makes them feel like you have to live? I like social, especially with the boom of social media, Instagram and TikTok. I like TikTok. I don't care for Instagram like that, but I'm
Fuck
on it.
TikTok.
But like because of social media, everybody feels like they have to live up to this. Like they're all loving hip hop stars. And so that's why a nigga might front because nowadays I ain't gonna lie, like back in the day, like it used to be the chicks that's like they're like they are alright, you know what I'm saying? They might not be that bad. They might have a little fat ass, something. Them bitches was getting fucked. Like niggas running trains on them
Oh,
bitch
they
last
didn't. They
shit.
didn't even have nobody.
Now them hoes think they A1. Like they think like, hey nigga, you better be bringing something
I
like
mean, they could have changed.
I ain't mad at them. They can
They could have
change.
evolved, found themselves, found their worth.
You're worthless,
Whatever.
kid.
Yeah, but if I met you and you was on that type of time,
You
you got
forever on that
yeah,
time.
you
Okay,
on
your
that.
image you can't go
Yeah,
past that.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
If you assess and you look at
Yeah.
somebody, and you put them in your head, like this is what you are, that's what they are to you.
Or if they
Oh
still
yeah, you.
doing that type of stuff, still wilding up.
Listen, I know some ugly ducklings right now on Instagram, and I ain't going, I would never diss them, but I know
You
some.
just
You said ugly
No, I
duckling.
won't say no names. So I won't say no names.
okay.
I know some ugly ducklings on Instagram right now. People I know I'm cool with, and they be acting like they God's gift to earth, and I'm like, mom, listen,
Is
please.
it because you're not attracted to them? Because somebody could be.
No, of course, someone's always gonna be attracted to them. I just think the majority of society isn't. You
Most of them are on Facebook.
know,
Women like that. Yeah.
Facebook is like 38, 35 and up. That's Facebook.
Young people.
Yeah, it do,
I was
but
say,
It's our age.
I do know
Yeah.
some people that be religiously posting on
Yeah.
Facebook like it's Twitter and Instagram.
sometimes they have Instagram linked to Facebook, so they post and it goes to Facebook, but they're not really on Facebook.
No.
You
I
would
don't know.
know if your Facebook is linked
Yeah.
to your Instagram, so you know what channel it's going to.
Well, they're always linked because Facebook owns Instagram.
I mean, yeah, but like I have both, and I only post on Facebook when my mom asks me to.
Yeah. Or someone telling you happy birthday or some shit.
Listen, they hating on the Facebook.
But nah, people
I
I
got
went to high
love for
school
y'all.
with, they still on the book.
I think it depends on the area, like the demographic. You
Yeah.
feel me? Because
Yeah.
I do agree that there's certain parts of the world and in Georgia too
The
that
South.
No, it's not just the South.
I
Not
would
just
say
the
the
South.
South, they love Facebook. It don't
Niggas
matter
is
what
on
age, they
books.
love Facebook.
It's just people love Facebook that's accustomed to Facebook. There's certain things you can do on Facebook that you can't do on Instagram.
Like what? All
The different posts, the different posts,
What you said about
different
the
posts.
crickets?
It's one of them buttons is a crickets for sure. But nah. So like just side note. If you was a duck, in my eyes, you's a duck for life. And what isn't that's it's not about how you look, it's how you think and how you act that makes you a fucking duck or a lame ass nigga. It's how you think. And I'm big on people think how people think. So I sit back and I listen to people and I'm like, he's a fucking goofy. You know what I'm saying? And people, and there's a lot of black people, and not just black people, but people in general. But I only fuck with black people. So it's a lot of black people that no disrespect. I got some fans that's white, so I don't mean that in that way. But and when it comes to black people, they tend to think like popularity and clothes is like that's what makes you special. And you can be the richest person with all the fucking accessories, all the things that people want, and still be a lame ass nigga. It's a lot of them. Most of the rappers are lame ass niggas. Better believe that. Goofy ass niggas, man. And Dirk stay saying goofy, and he's a goofy to me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Who?
Dirk. And I like Dirk. I like Dirk music. He's a goofy ass nigga, boy.
Dirk. That's what I meant.
Meek Mill is king goofy out this bitch.
Yeah, Meek be doing some
King,
shit.
him and Drake.
I fuck with Meek too. Well, Drake, yeah.
I think I fuck with Drake more than I fuck with Meek. Meek is
I
king
think everybody in
goofy.
their own corner.
Yeah.
King goofy over there. So you know what I'm saying, like money don't mean shit.
But nah, I don't. Niggas be hiding behind that shit
They do.
Yeah.
and wearing all that fake shit. See, niggas, everybody out here got like diamond chains on and shit.
In Atlanta, so
Most of it's fake.
I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was like, damn, niggas get money. Then I was
So
like,
you saying people can't rock it if it's
nah,
You can,
nah,
you can.
nah.
Females definitely
Females
not? I'm
can.
about to say because
But some niggas should be like
Nah,
OD, like
nah.
they chains and shit.
If you can't afford it, just you can't afford it. It's different. Like the females can do it. That's cool. But if you're a man, you're gonna go all out. You're gonna put all these fake fucking diamonds in your.
okay,
And you
that's
gonna
fair.
front like you
Me
got fake
personally, I ain't
sneakers
doing
on.
that.
Yeah, like
I ain't doing
if you don't have it, you don't have it. It's okay.
But there's nothing wrong with it's nothing wrong with it though. You really think about it, ain't nothing wrong.
You's a goofy ass nigga to me.
He was just saying if you ODing, like if you got if it's like 5 chains and like this big, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If you're doing too much and it's fake, then it's like you drew attention for what?
Niggas gotta get it how they live, man.
If you got one chain on and it's fake, he's a lame ass nigga to me, boy.
jewelers be out finessing niggas too.
That's different. It's
Okay,
different.
but how do
That
you?
could be
Because what if niggas think they got the real thing and got finesse?
That's different. You thought you got finesse, but there's niggas out there that's rocking like big ass chains and Balenciagas and all these jeans on, and they faking it. That's lame because
Yes.
you trying to live up to something that you not there
yeah.
yet. Like it's lame. Like just be real with yourself. There's people that can wear cheap ass clothing and make it look fire. You know what I'm saying? Like that means you just got style, and then your aura is so good that you can make it look good. But if you a person that's insecure, they're gonna take all of the fake designer or a real designer, and they're gonna throw it on thinking that they something. That's lame to me. Like you're just a lame ass nigga. It's okay. We can grow.
So if you broke, be broken.
Hey, I'm a broke nigga.
That's
man.
what I got. If you gonna stunt and sell it, don't be flashy or don't be like just don't do all that. That's what you're saying. If you gonna be fake about it,
Some of the richest niggas stunt in silence too.
I mean,
that's a fact.
Only the niggas be loud. The niggas would that be the most of the times the niggas that's the loudest got the least amount of money. That's just really what it is. So you know what I mean? But I'm just saying like, but we got off track. So back to you say you feel like there's no good niggas out here. I mean you
I
didn't
don't
say
think
that.
there's a lot of them left.
So okay. Ratio. How many good men percentage wise compared to good women percentage wise? Let's see.
64.
Which side? Men.
Man.
Okay.
I mean, clearly it's gonna be biased.
No, it's not.
Well, how you know?
We just speaking factual.
I can't. I'm not. What's facts? Your facts? Your facts aren't facts. They're just your opinions.
No. Facts are facts.
No, they're not. They're not. Because I'm not even gonna sit here and lie and be like, all women this. Because I know a good amount of women who, they're not shit, and I know a good amount of men that's not shit
Myself from
either.
over there.
So it's just,
But it's also what you said earlier, your perspective, like your mentality. What you put out there is what you get in return. If you ain't shit, if you putting that energy out there, that's what you gonna get.
I want to hear the numbers though.
60
well,
40.
since you the one that said what you say is facts, I need to see your numbers.
As far as like good men, I think I'm gonna be real. There's a lot of piece of shit niggas out there. I'm gonna say if we're gonna put compare them to females,
But also, you got to put into account that it's about everyone's experience. You know what I'm saying? I can admit that yes, I think every girl has had their fair share of ancient men. But I would I can proudly say that I don't think a lot of men that I've dealt with aren't shit. Like I think they actually some of them, most of them were good quality men.
so what happened?
Just
Immature.
time, yeah, it could be immaturity. I also like time.
Did
Like
you did
the
you
time
cheat?
and place I was in, we might not have been matching. Our values didn't align.
Did you cheat?
Me?
Yeah, you know her better than me. Did she cheat? Look at her face. Did she cheat?
Nah, I don't think.
Okay, he said you ain't cheat. I believe. I'm just joking.
I was like, wait a damn minute. Now hold on.
but I'm
But
just
I would say I did
But
once. I did once. I
okay,
cheated
okay,
once.
okay. Well, I'm
It was
glad
a
you
lick
admit it.
back situation.
Glad you
dang, I
admitted it.
tried to give you the benefit of the doubt
With-
too.
This was forever ago.
Dang,
See? Listen, they always give guys a
this
bad
was
rap
2
for
years ago.
that. But okay, so in my opinion, and I'm gonna try to be like realistic. Like, of course, I don't know everything. I would say, I'm gonna be fair. It's probably 50-50. It's probably 50. There's just enough no good ass dudes as there's no good ass women. I would be fair and say it's 50-50. If I'm gonna be biased, I'm gonna say 60-40. But I just know there's a lot of
Is it
goofy
because
ass
you
niggas.
know more good men out there than good women?
I don't even socialize with men like that.
Okay, so how is it 60-40 then for you?
Because men been down for so long. We
How?
because we get stepped on. We're not appreciated.
So
Look at
Hot Boy
Father's
Summer.
Day.
Oh yeah, Father's Day ain't shit. That's
For
just
Father's
another
Day, my daughter gave me a hug.
How old is your daughter?
14.
day.
She gave me a hug because I wasn't worth shit to her.
I don't think that's what the conclusion you should have drew.
No, because I know she gets hugs from my sister and her mother and her brothers and sisters for free. And I earned one on Father's Day.
How often do you see your daughter?
She ain't make you.
She
shit?
lives with me. You know what I'm saying?
She
Like,
ain't make you nothing.
no, I got a hug. But I'm gonna give her the benefit of
Yeah.
the doubt. She probably didn't know it's Father's Day. And when
How
she
did she
found out,
not know?
she's not in tune. She don't got a
With
cell-
what?
She don't got a cell phone right now. She got a computer.
She not in school?
No, she's in school, but
Bro, they
she,
announced that in
no,
school.
no, no. She worked. She been doing school from home since COVID kicked off. So she's been at home. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She probably didn't know, but I do know for Mother's Day, she made sure she in the past she was taking the money that I was giving her, and she's buying her mother gifts and shit like that.
And so her mom didn't talk about Father's Day?
I don't know. She ain't talking about Father's Day this year.
That's a whole.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. I
So
can't
what was
dive
your
into
percentage?
that. I can't dive
We got 50-50.
50-52, man.
I agree 50-50.
50-50.
I
Okay,
agree.
we
I agree.
give the woman a pass.
Black women might even be a step above, to be real.
Step above what?
Men,
In terms of what?
In terms of what? Thank you.
what we just talked about.
Are we, no, as in, like, are we not the ones that's not shit, or are we the ones that's good?
Good.
Ooh,
Oh.
30 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop this. What was he saying?
Oh,
He says that black women have the upper hand right now in terms of being better than men.
not even just being better than men, but just overall, like as far as their status,
Luxury black girl summer.
um, definitely getting more money than
They
majority
they
niggas.
definitely on the business
Um,
shit for sure.
Education
Education too.
mentality, yeah, education,
Yeah.
just the whole thing, entrepreneurship, just boss type shit. Like,
Yeah.
especially out here in Atlanta, women
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
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 I
That,
give them their props for sure.
that's a fact. That's 100% a fact. I'm gonna agree with you on that. The niggas, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of niggas doing great things, but the women have been doing great things for the last several years, and maybe even more than that. Maybe the last 10 years. You
You
know what
know
I'm
why?
saying? Why?
Because we realize that don't nobody give a fuck about women. Think about Roe versus Wade.
Oh, here we
You know
go.
what I'm saying? No, I have to get into that because you
uh,
got to realize it. It's just like, it's not saying, oh, y'all don't care about us, like, oh, F women, whatever. It's just the reality is the system is literally not set up for us, especially black women. Being a black in general, one, that's already an oppression. And then being a woman, it's a constant fight. So I think with us now getting a better education, making more money, starting businesses, it's our way of saying, okay, if y'all not going to take care of us, we have to do it.
but guess what?
What?
Nobody gives a fuck about us either.
That's
Okay,
what I'm
but
trying
I'm,
to say.
but I'm
We
saying
in the
we
same
recognize
boat.
that, and I'm not saying that we're counting y'all out, but I'm saying we realize that it's unfortunately statistically too. You can look it up. Black women are always at the bottom of the barrel with a lot of things, and now it's the point where like, okay, you have all this, like y'all were having the interracial conversation previously, right? Like they have a better community than we do.
Who's they?
Everybody outside of black people.
Okay,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying? So no, the unfortunate thing is, it's like, yes, the whole point is like we want black men to take care of black women and women to take care of black men, but at the same time, we're just now starting to come together, but it's not fast enough. So we realize, okay, we can't wait on y'all. We just have to do it ourselves, and hopefully everything comes into place. That's just the reality of how we see it.
I would say right when the late '90s came and shit. When I talk to my grandparents and uncles and all them that's like old and shit, black is all they know. It's a little weird now how we hear the conversation of we just now starting to. I think what it is the especially our generation.
I just like yeah.
So our generation the most. We was the most um got lost. We had the most accessibility to other races. You know what I'm saying? Our people didn't. So I think that's kind of where it's a little flip flop. But I changed my perspective from think a lot. I just think human beings in general fucked up. But
Fact.
when it comes to black people, lost. I think everybody. I don't think we just shitting on each other, whatever, whatever. Just like I'll never say black men doing better than black women, and vice versa, because it flip flops every certain generations anyway. Um, it's just a lot of money, especially with like interracial friends. Like, how many of y'all parents grew up with now who they'll say, quote unquote, they have a white counterpart that's their best friend? That was never a thing. That wasn't a thing. That's a thing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we seeing white people call they black friend twin and shit. My pops telling me straight up, like, bro, if we ever seen that, we gonna beat somebody. Somebody getting beat up.
It also depends where you're at too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My folks from the south.
Yeah.
So I only seen white people when I was playing baseball growing up, and then when I transferred, when I went to the good high school in Albany. That
Yeah.
was my first time being around white people.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different perspective, and I just think that the real problem is, do they want to acknowledge that they don't even have black in them?
Yeah.
They don't know no more. They don't know.
I think, like you said, I think
That's
that
a
what boils down to lack of exposure. I agree
Yeah.
because for me personally, I'm not from here. You know, I'm from Jamaica, so I grew up with.
Walk one.
I grew up with where the town I was raised in. I had white friends, Indian friends, Asian friends, but we were all just Jamaican. It wasn't, oh, you're white, you're black. It was just Jamaican. It wasn't until I moved to Georgia that I realized everybody was just in their own clique. And I went to a predominantly white and Asian high school where if I saw somebody look like me, I already knew them. So it's just kind of like, it's the lack of exposure. So then when I left that and I came to college and I was around, I was on the track team, so predominantly black people run track. So I got introduced to like Black America. And it's very different from being just black and being Black American. I ain't know nothing about black culture till I moved to Georgia. I was confused. But so I agree, like I have friends who they work with white people, they're maybe around them in every vicinity, but they're actually one scared of them or just don't like them at all, based off just their lack of exposure or just what they see online. And then I have token black friends who are like the only black people that hang out with all white people, which I'm not saying is a problem because I was there, I was in that shoe. But I was aware that I didn't look like them. I was aware that I wasn't one of them. You have some that literally, like Rock said, are so lost.
Lost in the sauce.
They don't know who they are as an African American person strictly because they don't have enough representation of their own people.
Oh, they have enough. They just ain't looking at it.
Well, they don't have access to.
Yes, they do. YouTube.
No,
Instagram.
physical access to be around them, to grow up with them, to have
Oh,
conversations.
yeah,
That's
they
what I'm
growing
talking
up in
about.
that.
Yeah, they don't
Okay,
have that, so
yeah.
it's confusing. The reason why I say that is because, and I'm not saying names either. I have black friends, Rock. You know a few of them. Black friends who are in white sororities and white fraternities. That is your choice. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not judging you for that. But it wasn't until some of them left those sororities and fraternities, and I've had a conversation with them. They're like, "Oh yeah, you know what? I really didn't know." You know what I'm saying? I used to have little racist jokes and comments said to me. People thinking it's funny, we kiki kaka, and then you get older and you realize, that wasn't okay.
What, like what?
Um, just like I've had a non-African American woman tell me, like, "Yeah, girl, my hair's so nappy." Where?
That shit probably was not.
It wasn't. She got bone straight hair. Silky bone straight hair.
That shit don't mean they don't get tangled up and they
Tangled.
might be nappled
Tangled, knotted, not nappy.
But see-
Nappy is a term used strictly for African American culture. We have to just recognize that.
up. I understand that, but like it's just a perspective. It's just a racist thing to say, yo, your hair is nappy. Like
That don't
it's
mean
no
it's
such
okay
thing.
though.
There's no such thing as nappy though.
Says who?
There's not. That's just somebody's perspective. It's like good hair versus bad hair.
Okay, the reason why I say that is because she's very much aware what nappy meant to the black culture. It's not she was
course,
saying
yeah.
because she didn't know. That was her way of trying to have conversation. Don't get me wrong, I understood where you were coming from. But like I said, your lack of exposure and knowledge about someone else's culture, you can't just throw things out there because you think it's funny or it's cool. Because I'm understanding things. A lot of things don't offend me because I can see ignorance is just very common. But if she had said it to the wrong person, it would have caused problems. Yeah, it's just the reality of it. You just be aware.
Yeah, it's like even though nappy is quote unquote not a bad term and shit, it's kind of like the word nigga, nigu.
Yeah.
You really want to look back deep, like nigga, which was nigu, wasn't a bad term. But at the end of the day, if a random white person walk up on you and say that, you gonna have a problem.
Yeah, but
And when they be saying boy.
Oh,
yeah,
I
they
hate
love
when they
that.
be saying
Yeah,
that
they
shit.
love that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I hate when they say that shit.
the boys here.
They think they belittle you. and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it's a tone, and you know how they using it too. Like you could tell the difference when someone's just genuinely ignorant and when they choose to pretend to be. There's a difference.
Yeah, but you know what? And we're gonna get back on topic, but they get the fire slapped out of them. They fucking bitches. Like at the end of the day, like let's keep it a million. Like
Oh, the white motherfucker.
yeah, they the
Yeah.
bitches. All these other people that got a problem with people of color just because, and I mean when I say people of color, I'm referring to black people. People of color like Hispanics and other people of color. They have different. They're viewed differently than black people. You know what I'm saying? So they're fighting. They still got to fight, but it's a little bit different than our fight.
Above us.
Yeah, it is definitely above
Yeah.
us. Depending on the color, Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? And like at the end of the day, like a lot of the people that do this stuff, most of them are bitches, pussies. They can't do
I
shit.
think racism just comes from envy.
It comes from envy and ignorance. Ignorance, envy, and fear. Those are the things that make
Fear.
somebody racist.
I
Yeah,
agree.
fear.
Yeah, for sure.
To the shit on man, been cussing a lot lately. But the shit on man, like black people, the most hated race on earth.
But we're the most influential, which is
For no,
so
for
crazy.
no reason, but for no reason at all.
It be fucking my mind up, cause how it be fucking my mind up how it be like for no reason. It's like what did black people do that was so
Yeah,
bad?
sweating.
Telling
Like
you,
what really?
That's what I want to know.
I really want to like.
Let me
see
tell you
really
what-
happened.
let me tell you what I think it turned around to. I think, like you said, that fear, right? When you don't, what I realize about this country, specifically, when they don't understand something, they belittle it. Instead of just trying to learn about it, it causes, it's fear. It turns into fear. It turns into envy. Because at the end of the day, if you can sit down and really explain to me what a certain generation, or not generation, a certain population did to you specifically, or you and your family, and you can, cool, I respect it. But if 9 times out of 10 you can't, because there's nothing, your grandma, your grandfather done told you something, and then all of a sudden you hate black people. I've been around friends whose their parents are like, yeah, my parents are racist. Why? They can't explain it. Like, oh, they're loud and they're dangerous and whatever.
And they're ladies.
But you,
They don't worry.
from my thing is, I don't understand racism because one, they don't listen to nothing that we put out, music. Don't watch no sport because we take over that too.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just specify when you want to hate us. If you gonna hate us all the way. That's what I think.
These niggas killing me.
I don't think there's no reason for people to be racist. Really.
I ain't gonna lie. Like,
Especially now,
the shit just hard. I mean, I would say just being somebody who grew up in the South.
But the South is different.
You see any white people with down there?
Nah, maybe like the grocery store or some shit.
Wait, did we go to the grocery store?
Yeah.
We did.
We got them
white
fucking
people don't exist.
subs from
in the
Publix.
Yeah, Publix. And that was on the nice side of town. We got to drive to the
But that's why.
Yeah. Like, where I'm from, you don't see no white people.
And it's opposite where I when I went to high school, all you see is white people. It's crazy.
Yeah, my high school was full of black people.
I ain't gonna
None
lie.
but niggas. It was a lot, some white people too.
I don't want to be in town when it's just nothing but niggas now, unless he friendly niggas.
I'm about to say.
My niggas be friendly. But
Y'all friendly down south, man.
everywhere, I feel like also though, like every city and shit got its bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm from now, the white people they be doing crazy shit to each other.
No. Yeah, white on white crime is real.
They shit worse. They do some shit that you be like, yeah.
They ain't got no loyalty.
They shooting up the schools.
But they ain't even shooting up the school. But they set niggas up on some like paying $10,000 for hitman and shit. Like I be like, what?
Oh yeah, they do be doing some
You know what I'm
crazy
saying? They
shit.
be doing some. Or like they might invite you over to have.
They get a nigga
glass
for
of
the
wine.
insurance.
They poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah, real shit. They be, listen.
And then chop your body up or some shit.
Man, listen, they be doing some shit.
Oh, they be fucking your
Oh
corpse.
my gosh.
They do be doing that shit.
They're my next question. They're my next question.
What's your next question?
Well, I'm gonna enter myself into the first question with the hot girl some shit. Yeah, I will be looking forward to the hot girl summer this year. But I'm very
It's a hot boy summer.
It ain't no hot nothing.
I'm telling you, the girls they switched it up.
It's an LGBTQ.
It's not even about that. It's like girls.
That shit been that's a year. That is more than the summer.
You got to have an right.
Yeah.
But nah, I'll say this though, and this is no racism in general. This is all women and men shit. I think a lot of people broke this year. Cause last year, y'all know what was going on. Last year was the year. Last year and the year before that, that window for like a lot of people to get money in a certain way of getting money, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Accessible. Ain't nobody got no money no more, so a lot of niggas ain't tricking off on women no more. A lot of niggas was paying for women for a lot of shit. I know
Blew
niggas,
that.
you know
Some
I'm cool with some
PPPs.
strippers and shit, so they telling me like, bought them apartment, crib.
Hell.
Yeah, I know. I'm cool with one. She got 100,000 from a cat.
Oh my God.
I could never.
In Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's.
You got a brother.
We shit, man, you went to college.
I just played.
You went
Edgy
to
played.
college, though, you probably ain't even know. A lot of girls we was around.
Mhm.
I
I slowly started to learn.
Nigga,
But like I
G for that.
They was getting
What?
paid.
I got a bitch on the internet for that.
Brother,
For the
nurses
bread?
I had class with. They was showing me too, like, you know, I was cool. I was just chill in that school. I ain't really cut. They was showing me everything. I'm in class. We take the test. I was like, look, I'm finna get him to send me 10,000. You want some food after the test? Yeah.
I don't have my pride.
Give me half of that.
2,000 at least.
Huh?
Minimum.
Yeah, let me get a piece of that. Shit.
She's still selling feet.
Women
Give me
are
a
so
piece.
selfish.
Yeah.
Well, let me
Like,
know
you
her
gonna
number.
give a nigga something.
I don't mind.
Women don't want to share.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought about putting them on OnlyFans, but I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Is it gonna feel bad for me? But I should have did it though. Just
Got no
my
comment
homegirl
about
and shit.
I'm about to say yeah. We were
You said you got no
OnlyFans was
comment about it?
popping
Yeah,
last
you
year.
got a lot of comments.
But
Inflation got everybody broke.
Yeah,
I got some people.
but the real question is, why is I'm saying this a lot later? What's up with the interracial relationships? A lot of black women feel like they have the need to go towards a white man. I know niggas in general. I think our generation kind of just. I don't know. A lot of these niggas, I honestly lost hope from them. I ain't trying to say niggas that is at this age now. If they don't want to wake up, they don't want to wake up. But it's some niggas, you know what I'm saying, they trying to be more aware of shit and what's going on, but like, why do you think the black women now are like, fuck it then, I'm gonna go there too?
Um, I can only speak on this outside. For me, I think because, like I said, because I'm exposed to different races so much for years, I don't really care who you date. My biggest thing, I think a lot of black women feel that when black men date outside of their race, they get disrespected. Not because they're dating outside of their race, but because of the comments that are made when they date outside of their race. You know what I'm saying? I've heard, not towards me, but I've heard men say like, this and this type of woman is just easier to deal with, or they're more submissive, or they're this and this. So it makes us feel like we're just difficult, or we're not loved, or we're not enough. So we're like, okay, well, if we're not gonna get that from our black men, we might as well go where they're going, since they're getting it from them, right? So it's just that's just a perception, and because, like you said, a lot of people are starting to be more aware. It's not just black men that are starting to open their eyes. It's different races, white men, Asian men, whatever. They're starting to see the value that we wanted y'all to see in us. So now it's easier for them to date a black woman because they're like, okay, I'm understanding you, I'm hearing you, I'm listening to you, and that's kind of what a lot of black women never got from our black men. That's the perception I have, at least.
Oh no no no! I gotta speak on that.
Go ahead.
Listen.
Nigga threw this.
No, it's a topic for
no,
real.
no. I feel like they did get that right. Like I feel like it's a recent phenomenon where black men and black women are clashing. Like the last 30, 40 years when the crack era came, black men and black women they've been building together like post slavery. Like
Of course.
all this nigga wild shit that's going on. Of course, some of that always been there, but that's a new phenomenon. This shit's been less than 100 years when niggas is acting like this. Like we had cities, we had fucking representation in the government, we had representation in politics, we had our own businesses. We was doing good. Like the crash of black people has been happening over the last like 20, 30, 40 years. Like ever since the crack and the public housing and all that shit. Like that's a recent phenomenon. So I don't know. Black niggas does it. Maybe now they're not like appreciating black women.
No, I'm saying that's how black women feel.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what's actually happening.
women are emotional now.
Yeah, naturally. But I'm saying based off conversations I've had with certain women who decide to date outside of their race, those are the comments that I'm hearing. For me, like I said, it's different for me. I've dated around the spectrum. I've dated people outside my race. I've dated people inside my race. I've never felt like I was never enough, but that's just because I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's moments where people are like, damn, did I do something wrong? What's wrong with me? Yes, we all question ourselves depending on the situation, but I've never sat here and really looked at myself like there's something wrong with me, and because that person is not a black woman, they're better than me. I've never had that. But some men, I've heard a black man say out of his mouth those type of comments like this person just easy to deal with. Black women are difficult. Black women are loud. Black women are ghetto. I've literally heard a black man say that. But then when you look at them, they don't have the same representation as another black man would have. You know what I'm saying? So their image of a black woman is all of that because of the one or two black women that they saw in school. Or, which confuses me the most, is like their mom would be exactly what they don't like. And because they don't like their mom, they choose not to date women that resemble their mom.
So I think it's mainly about your perception of what your environment. Because me personally, I don't see a lot of black. Well, I see some, but I don't see a lot of black women that's dating white men. So that don't ain't really in my world. So
The ones that y'all, we ain't even.
That's what I'm saying. I know all. I know a lot of black
But y'all
women.
also went to like schools with majority white
Yeah,
people.
so the representation is different.
Yeah, I don't really see that, but
We don't know too many bitches that want zaddy dick. And
Zaddy did.
Now I see like, and I'm gonna say ratchet because it's a good term. But my ratchet homegirl, they talk like that on Twitter though. Like I'm gonna go get me a Zad type shit.
Oh, what?
Like
But people say zaddy, two different meanings.
No, the zaddy means white man these days.
Who said
I,
that?
I never heard it that way.
I ain't never heard that before.
He know. Zaddy is
That
a
niggas
white
be
man.
on Twitter.
Like
I
I
be
said,
on everything.
you think the thing is,
Yeah, I ain't never.
I'm still.
That
I
ain't
get
how I heard it.
where I'm from and where y'all from is different, so we gonna look at
I had to
things
get off
totally different.
no, but I see what you saying. So I was unfortunate and fortunate enough to grow up in the South, but try to move to the city and hit these other different cities like New York and all these different places and try to see what's going on, different ideas, and understand the environment and shit. I do believe the era we in right now. Obviously, we got put in the face. Drugs, the take a man out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Get a lady money and shit. All that shit on purpose. It's America. That's common sense. That's gonna fuck any race up. That's gonna fuck a race up. But when it comes to what's going on now, it's like the idea of what I'm seeing don't make sense. So I go to the club a lot, right? I might see a nigga throwing up so many gang signs, but he got a white woman, and it's suburban white woman, and he might be from the suburbs too, most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Goofy.
Or you might go to Tongue Groove and see a group of black dudes are all white. Or you might go to Tongue Groove, you might see some tokens with a bunch of white people and shit, and it's like they saying gang and this and this. I'm not really tripping on interracial relationships no more if that shit genuine. If it's genuine and
That's what I'm saying.
it's some white people I know they grew up in black neighborhoods. It's just you got those type too. But you know what I'm saying? In my mind off real, I'm gonna automatically think all white people racist, which is still bad. But it's some white people that aren't quote unquote all the way racist.
I believe they are racist.
More so outside the U.S. than inside the
Right.
U.S.
That's why I'm gonna say all the way.
Yeah.
It's in any culture you can kind of say something offensive to anybody, but nowadays it's the structure of niggas want to look like rappers and shit, but want to date the most whitest white girl of all time, and it's like nigga, I don't even understand how that works. How you supposed to be a gangster with a white woman?
But
She
who
can't
is
even say
who is
nigga.
these niggas?
That's Lil
I
Durk.
think
He ain't got no white women.
Yes, he did have a white woman.
Yeah,
Like,
about his baby mom.
Talking about recently?
No, not recently.
Talking about baby mama?
When
But
he got
she
his
was,
coins
his
up.
baby mama was one of the ones that grew up around black
No,
people.
I understand that, but he's still a white woman.
That's
Nonetheless.
different though.
No, it's not different.
We got
Yeah,
a
them-
man Joe. He grew up in them trenches. That's it. He ain't gonna. He know what to do and what not to do.
I understand that, but she's still a white woman.
Yeah,
I think it's perception.
When it comes to black, what is black, it's always a negative perception of black. It's always some street shit. It's always some ratchet shit. It's always some dumb shit. That's black.
that's the media.
I would say if you wanna like when I go into these different rooms, and shit, motherfuckers be asking about black and shit. You can hit an ad with some real educated shit on top and be like, black is the essence of all colors. If they want to get to that shit, you know what I'm saying? You can tell them like, without black people, there's no human existence and all. But I would say when we in the South and we talk about certain shit, slang, how we dress, how we walk, how we talk, and all that shit, white people want to do that. Now, when I go to New York and all these different shits, white people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a difference.
It
like,
is heavy in the South
right.
for sure.
In the South, they want to be black because they want to be cool, they want to be hip, they want to be slang. But when I go to these other, populated,
They don't care about just doing their own thing.
everybody's just doing their own shit. So it's kind of really just where you at interviewing this shit. Because if you took it to New York,
Exposure, bro.
it's gonna be real different.
New York is a different realm, though.
It's a melting pot.
Right,
spot.
right. That's why like down here,
Now,
most black shit is gonna be
Yeah,
a
for the
correct
last,
term
like,
for the
40
black
years.
in the South is sophisticated ratchet.
Sophisticated
You know what I'm saying?
ratchet.
That's really
Sophisticated ratchet, for real.
All person, I never cared about Mona Lisa and Beethoven shit. I ain't care about that proper shit. I care about the shit that I can relate to that made me feel some type of way to go do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I said this shit in New York, black people gonna look at you ignorant because they want to be super sophisticated, and be like Mona Lisa, this, and they not really understanding like it's a whole different culture that you can just tap in with.
What's the podcast called?
1231, room 12 around.
room 1231. Tune in, check us out. Sponsored by
LSO
LSO ENT. We got the 13th building too.